Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Fighting Fantasy. This is book 4, Starship Traveller, and we are going to attempt a 100% playthrough of this book, meaning I will get to the good ending, the correct ending of this adventure, and I will try to show you the longest path, as much of the book as you can in one successful playthrough. So I've selected a specific path because there are multiple paths here that can lead to a successful playthrough, but I selected one that is the longest here with the most encounters. Now buckle up, because this is going to be a very long introductory video. There is a lot to explain here, so I'll try to explain them as we go. First things first, as you can see, we are not using the Fighting Fantasy Classics app. That is because this is not available there. It's due to the different gameplay mechanics, I believe, and also because of the fact that it's set in science fiction setting. This is Star Trek, by the way, so it's even admitted by Steve Jackson, the author of this work, that it's a very thinly veiled copy or adventure, heavily influenced by Star Trek. The names are not the same, but apart from that, the whole feel of it is. And we are playing the standalone version, which is available for mobiles and on Steam, by the same developers, by the way, Tin Man Games. And yeah, let's dive right in and see where we are. So first of all, we are going to play as a captain of a starship lost in an unknown universe. We are about to be flung through a black hole into unknown space. Our only chance of return will be to find another suitable black hole and guide the ship through it back to our own universe. It's really interesting that the beginning is already spoiled here, but it is what it is. We now need to select a difficulty level, and as you can see, we have no hardcore hero difficulty setting on this one. We need to roll a lot of dice for this adventure to begin. We need to create several party members or crew members, generate all their stats. We need to generate stats for ourselves as well as the ship. So I'm going to bend the rules a bit, and I'm going to say this, that I am going to play through with whatever results we got from rolling these dice, but I'm also going to accept rolls that are above 10 for skill, which would be impossible on hardcore hero difficulty, so we might get lucky. There are no provisions in this game, so that makes no difference. So in my opinion, this is going to be as close to a real hardcore run as possible. We are playing Iron Man, of course, not using bookmarks, which are available in this version. So yeah, let's begin. Having served as a dedicated officer of the Astronavy for many years, our experience and skill has been rewarded with our promotion to captain. We wear our new uniform with pride as we enter our name on the registration console. That's right, first thing we have to do is enter our name, and we are going to go by the name of Captain Slayer, as always. This is our call sign, obviously not our real name, but that's how we want to be referred to. We need to select our gender, and we need to select genders for all our characters, crew members, which is really weird, because this plays no role in the game whatsoever. There is nothing that refers to gender at all, so it's just completely unnecessary and superfluous. The registration console requests we finalize our new position with a statistical scan. Using advanced technology, the console will determine our base stamina, skill and luck values. We place our palm flat on the registration console to complete the process. And here you can see another difference to the Fighting Fantasy Classics app. We cannot turn off the dice animations, and we can nudge the dice, which I'm obviously not going to do. If I really hope I won't make a mistake and accidentally cheat like that. And we are very lucky with a skill level of 12. As I've said, we are keeping it because we are definitely not going to be this lucky with other roles, like for instance with luck roll and with our other characters. With the process complete, we remove our palm from the console. We adjust our uniform with pride and holster our standard issue phaser. Let's head to the Admiral's quarters for briefing. Alright. We arrive at the Admiral's quarters to receive our mission briefing. Admiral Jackson, our superior, enters and we salute. He explains our mission, our main goal being to seek out new planets and explore uncharted sectors of the galaxy. So, Star Trek. Yay! This is Star Trek, by the way, completely. Steve Jackson, the author, is not even denying it in this app, and also in other sources it's available. He admits to being a Trekkie, and he admits that this is very heavily influenced by Star Trek. And this is only one of only seven or rather 6.5 science fiction books in the series. They stopped creating science fiction game books pretty early. I think the final one was number 20 something, so we are now at around number 70. The books, they're still coming out, so at the time of as of the time of making this video. So yeah, we need to basically visit a lot of planets, have a lot of different encounters. That is our mission here. As the Astro Navy's newest captain, we are to be assigned a starship. Admiral Jackson directs us to choose from the following. We could take the Starship Traveller or our own starship. We are going to create our own starship. The only difference is the name that we can choose. Otherwise, the app automatically and randomly fills out a ship for you. So it's always going to be different, but it's always going to be called Starship Traveller, and I don't particularly like that name. Instead, we decide to take our own ship, which we christen as Sylvana, because that's a beautiful name. So we are going to be rolling with the Starship Sylvana, and in order to complete the inspection, we perform a diagnostics check on our new ship. As I've said, this is not a static. These are not static attributes for the standard or the automated steps. So if you're going into this app blind, or if you want to play this game for yourself, you can feel free to choose that. Your starship is going to be just as randomly selected as here. In fact, here you could cheat by nudging the dice, which we are not going to do. We have a weapon strength of 10. And a shield stat of 13, which is not very high, but hopefully it's gonna suffice. With the diagnostics check complete, we and the Admiral are satisfied that our starship is in perfect working order. Let's follow Admiral Jackson to assemble our crew. Admiral Jackson offers us two choices when assembling the crew of the starship Sylvana. We could, once again, you can just click the top button and you will be assigned a random crew with some set of names that can be selected for that are selected randomly from a pool by the game. Some are really funny, like the medical officer can be called Doc, lies in doctor. But obviously we are going to be more strategic and handpick our own crew, which is obviously going to be identical, with the only differences that we could, the only two differences that we could A, theoretically cheat, which we are not going to do, and B, we can name our crew, which we are going to do. So first we must choose our science officer, and our science officer is going to be called Tommy B, as opposed to Tommy A. And of course he's going to be male. Almost all our crew is going to be male, because that's how we roll, except for the medical personnel. Skilled in advanced technology, chemistry, and many forms of language, the science officer is an invaluable member of our team. When exploring new terrain, they can offer crucial advice and prove to be a useful sounding board to our own ideas. Welcoming Tommy B to the crew, we ask him to place his palm on the scanner. right? We are going to select, we're going to have to generate each and every one of these characters. They also have the same attributes without luck, so they don't have luck attributes, but they have stamina and the skill set, a specific skill attribute. This is identical to what we have. Obviously, some of these characters are unique in that they are required for specific solutions or paths to work. So the science officer is one unique and special character that we need to try to take care of, at least, you know, guard. And with a science skill of 9, that's not very high, but hopefully that's gonna be sufficient. Let's continue to assemble our crew. Now we need to choose our medical officer and somebody who is going to take good care of us, tend to our wounds. And our medical officer is going to be the only female on this ship. She's going to be called Diane, because that's another beautiful name. And she is going to be female. Our medical officer is well versed in biology, physiology and medical treatment. Her knowledge is diverse enough that it can be applied to interstellar life, vital for exploring uncharted territory. Due to her medical knowledge, our medical officer can restore 2 stamina to each crew member whenever they return from a planet. That's right. As I've said, there are no provisions in this game, and believe it or not, there is no way to restore health other than this automated step. As long as we keep Diane alive, hopefully all throughout the adventure. I don't plan on losing any of the crew, but it might happen. But we really should take good care of her. In fact, I'm not going to take her on many adventures with us, because as long as she's alive, whenever we return alive from any planet-side adventure, we automatically restore 2 stamina points to each of the crew. So not only those ones that have participated on the adventure, in the latest adventure, but anybody who is injured will automatically heal up 2 points. That means that we could switch some of the crew around, like if somebody is really heavily injured, we could keep them on the ship, and hopefully slowly they will heal back up. Welcoming her to the crew, we ask her to place her palm on the scanner. Alright, that's pretty good. Not that she needs a high stamina skill. Let's hope okay, a medical skill was far more important, and an 11 is excellent. That's almost the maximum possible. Let's continue to assemble our crew. We need to now choose our engineering officer, and he's going to be called Sultan. As I've said, everybody else on this ship is going to be male, including Sultan. Well versed in all things mechanical, our engineering officer is an asset to the crew. That's right. He can make repairs, create machines, and he is knowledgeable in the workings of our starship. If something goes wrong with the ship, we can rely on the engineering officer's know-how to repair it. Welcoming him to the crew, we ask him to place his palm on the scanner. Alright, once again we would like high stats for him, and I'm happy for this high stamina stat that was needed, and an engineering skill of 10 is, well, could have been better, but that's going to be okay. Next, we need to choose our first security officer, and we are going to have 3 security people on board. These are the only ones that are kind of interchangeable, and we don't need to really keep them alive. So we need to keep at least one of them alive in order to be successful, in my opinion, but they are a bit expendable. They are our grunts or our brutes. They are the ones that will do the heavy lifting in fighting, and they are actually the only ones who can fight with any efficiency apart from ourselves as the captain. And the head of the security department is going to be Andy, and obviously it's a male. Eager for battle and ready to resolve any of our problems with their fists, our security officer with his fists, sorry. Our security officer is skilled in combat. He and the guards are our first choice for battle, as all other crew receive a -3 skill penalty points during combat. That's right. The other crew members might be essential for passing specific checks or points of paths, basically, so options. But when it comes to battle, all other crew except for the captain and the 3 security guards receive 3 points of penalty during battle, so they're practically next to useless in battle, really. The whole objective in the battle is actually more to keep those crew members alive rather than getting them to win. But the security guards can be effective, so now we welcome Andy to the crew and we ask him to place his palm on the scanner. Now the really neat thing about this is that we only need to have one really strong security officer, and Andy seems to be that one already, with the security skill of 11 and stamina of 21. So we have our first line fighter right here, because as I've said, we can select which one to take with us, and it doesn't matter really which one we do. If we get to have another good, another character, another guard with good stats, that's great. But the 3 is, it's not really important to have all 3 with high stats. So let's see. Next we are introduced to our 2 security guards, handpicked by Security Officer Andy. Glancing at them, we honestly cannot tell them apart. They are both wearing red shirts. Right, they are the red shirts. The first security guard is going to be called Steve. And as we welcome him to the crew, we are going to create his stats for him. And yeah, Steve has a very poor stamina stat, but an awesome skill stat of the possible maximum 12, which is great. It also means that we can take him along. He's a bit fragile, but he packs a punch. So he's going to be a perfect backup for Andy, in case for any reason Andy is unavailable or we don't want to take him along with us. And we need to now create the second guard, security guard character. He's going to be called Pete. And let us roll his stats. Okay, it's a pretty high stamina stat, 20. And guards and a security skill of 9 is not high. We probably won't use Pete so much on this adventure, but that's fine. As I've said, he's practically there as a backup. Admiral Jackson hands us now a tiny bundle of fur. It is a small white cat. The Admiral explains that one of the most important parts of this mission is to research the effects of interstellar travel on pets and their ability to withstand artificial gravity over long periods of time. And the cat is going to be called Snowflake, since it's a white cat and I don't have a very powerful imagination. You can skip this too, by the way, and the game is going to assign a random name for the cat. And the cat is the least often used character or asset or whatever it is in this game, so I don't think we're going to see much of little Snowflake. He or she is just going to be responsible for catching mice on the ship, if any, I guess. So let's go now to the Starship Sylvana. With our brave crew of the Starship Sylvana, we give Admiral Jackson a salute. The Admiral gives one final look at the ship's cat and says, "Take good care of Snowflake. Godspeed, Captain Slayer." And it's really funny that he doesn't he doesn't care if the crew members or we are well taken care of. Oh well, I guess Snowflake is the real asset here, or the real treasure on this ship. Suddenly, bursting in and out of breath, a young man arrives. He apologizes profusely to the Admiral for his delay. Admiral Jackson informs us that this ensign is a son of an important senator and he will be accompanying us on the mission. Alright, so now we got a kind of a stowaway. This guy is clearly a privileged idiot, and we get to pick a name for him, which is unfortunate because we are going to call him Doodoo, as in we learned that his actual name is Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh, and so his call sign is going to be Doodoo. And we welcome Doodoo on the ship. As you can probably already tell, we are not very fond of this character, but there is no choice, we need to take him along. We are now ready to set off. We take our seat on the bridge and prepare ourselves for the adventure ahead. Dismissed. Alright, so this was quite a lot of dice rolling and reading and character creation, as you can see. This is one of the tricks in this book, and one of the obstacles that you have to overcome is that you have to create all these characters, especially in the book form. And on an average playthrough, you're not even going to use all of your characters. We probably are going to use at least most of them, so for us it was not superfluous. But this is something that normally is it's a lot of effort and doesn't necessarily pay off when playing the game. So dismissed. Let's see where we are. Panic! And this is our ship. Obviously, you can even see that it is modeled after the Enterprise. It's not copy-pasted at least, but it's very similar. And if you're wondering why this picture looks nothing like the one in the book, that's another thing of this app. They created brand new pictures replacing the old illustrations, and these are all CGI or computer generated. I'm going to show all of them as we come across, as usual. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the option to use the old illustrations from the books. So that's it. So where were we? Aria, panic! From our seat at the helm of the Starship Sylvana, we study the VDU anxiously. Engineering section has reported an overdrive malfunction, which has locked the warp engines at a 10% velocity gain. We are watching the velocity indicator advancing rapidly through the safe region towards overload. We hit the communicator button and call engineering for further news. It is not good. The malfunction cannot be traced, and it will take another 13 minutes for a system check to provide a full analysis. We are heading towards the Celsian Void, a known black hole. We may or may not avoid it, but Science Officer Tommy B has another plan. If we swing the ship through its immersed gravitational pull, its gravity drag may help reduce our speed as we travel away from it. It is worth a try, but the navigational tuning will have to be precise. So, we swing the starship hard to starboard as we enter the Celsian's gravitational field and fasten our eyes on the velocity indicator. To our great relief, the plan seems to be working. The gain comes down from 10% to 5% to 0 to -5%. Loud cheers come from the crew, but we are still watching the velocity indicator. It is now showing -15%, then -25% and still falling. The Sylvana is being sucked into the Celsian Void. We hit the red alert button and instruct all ship's personnel to strap themselves down. The ship begins to whine and shake as it rapidly accelerates towards the black hole. There is nothing we can do to avert the impending disaster. An almighty explosion rocks the ship. All the crew, including us, lose consciousness. Well, is this the end of our adventure already? Well, obviously not. But I guess this video has become long enough already, so I'm going to make the cut of the video here, and we are going to promptly start our adventure in the next episode. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.